Always do sober what you do drunk. That'll teach you to keep your mouth shut.
Hemingway said that.
Yes, he did. And he said it to me.
I don't want you to go to Canada tomorrow.
It's for the podcast. It's what I do. I travel around and I interview weird or interesting people.
So look out, you crazy Canucks! Wandering Wallace takes a raunchy road trip up to the Great White North.
Hello. I'm an old man who has enjoyed a long and storied life at sea. And after eons of oceanic adventure, I know I do not wish to spend my remaining years alone when I have such stories to share.
How far is Bifrost from here?
It's about 2 hours from here.
It's about 2 hours away.
I hate American guys.
Good evening.
It's nice to meet you.
Could I interest you in some tea?
So what happened after the boat sank?
I was alone, and then something very swift and frightening moved by me.
A walrus saved your life?
The walrus is far more evolved than any man I've heard of, present company included.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You kind of walk out of the film being like, oh my God, what did I just see?
What was that?
Yeah. I mean, what were your thoughts when you first read the script or it was first pitched to you?
It was that. It was what I had never read or conceived of anything like that even. But Kevin, I guess, kind of pitched it in a letter that preceded me reading the script. And weirdly enough, in the letter, he never even mentioned, I don't think he mentioned anything about walruses. It was pitched as more of a character study, between these two people, and that's how I always approached it. I never thought of it as I'm going to work on the walrus movie. I guess I would say that because it was easier to say, but to me it always felt like this a character piece.
It is one of those movies where, like, unlike anything I've made prior to this, well, particularly the early stuff, which was so biographical, I have no emotional connection to the material other than, like, I love the movie and I love how f***ed up it is. But because of that, like, people can literally stand there and be like, this is the worst movie I've ever seen. I'd be like, isn't it? But it's in focus. And then people could be like, this is a great movie. I'd be like, isn't it? It's so f***ed up. Like, I get it. I get how people could be, like, turned off by this movie, and I get how people could be turned on by this movie. Like, it is, to me, it's art, right? Like, it's certainly not an art film, but like art, some people are going to be like, oh, I can't believe it took people this long to make the Walrus movie. But some people are going to be like, oh, he keeps failing. Like, every time since Clerks, it's a failure after failure. And I could get that, man. I could totally groove on that.
Would you?
There. It'll be all right, Mr. Tusk.
He hasn't called me in 3 days. I'm worried.
Why are you doing this?
Are you really mourning your humanity? I don't understand. Who in the hell would want to be human?
Majority of the film with Justin, it's either in the beginning of the film or the end of the film that you guys are with. I mean, so when you actually saw his transformation, I mean, what were your thoughts?
There's a man in a walrus costume. I remember getting excited and being like, all right, yeah, we're gonna I didn't know if we'd get a positive response from it, but I knew that we would at least, it would be something that had enough power as a visual that would mess with people. And we all get off on that because we're sick, so that was good.
And I was messed up.
Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I had to do it, if for no other reason, because I was curious as to whether or not they could do it, I was curious as a fan of Kevin's, as a fan of movies, like, I want to see them make this movie, just out of sheer curiosity. And then talking to a lot of the crew, everyone kind of shared that feeling. They were like, they were all there just to see if it could be done.
I'm so scared. This guy